pi 3.1415926535, or at least that's how much I know off the top of my head. Pi, for those who don't know, is the amount of times the diameter goes around the circumference. This number can help us figure out the area of a circle and is used for a variety of mathematical applications. This video will explore the history and the quest to find more digits of pi. Since ancient times, humans have been on a journey to discover pi. The earliest civilizations to approximate pi were the Babylonians, who between 1900 and 1600 BC calculated pi to be 25/8, or 3.125, and this was found on a clay tablet. In ancient Egypt, the Rhind papyrus, dated to be from 1650 BC, found pi to be 16/9 squared, or 3.1605, and was said to be copied from a document from 1850 BC. In the Shulba Sutras of Indian mathematics, dating to an oral tradition from the 1st or 2nd millennium BC, approximations are given which have been variously interpreted as 3.08831, 3.08833, 3.0043, or 3.125. All these estimations were a good start, as they were all within 1% of the true value, but they were still far off, and didn't use mathematical algorithms or consider potential errors. The first mathematician to calculate pi using an algorithm was Archimedes of Syracuse. Born in 287 BC, he used a geometric approach using polygons to compute the upper and lower bounds of pi. Archimedes found the value of pi to be between 22/7 and 223/71, which both begin with 3.14. Archimedes would be murdered by the invading Romans in 212 BC, while in the midst of working on a problem. His last words were, "Do not disturb my circles." While he would die, his legacy would not, and the algorithm would be used for over 1,000 years. Around 150 AD, the Greco-Roman scientist Ptolemy, in his Almagest, gave a value of pi of 3.1416, which was likely achieved using Archimedes' method. Independently, around 265 AD, Chinese mathematician Liu Hui created another simple polygon-based or iterative algorithm giving 4 digits of accuracy. And in 480 AD, Zhu Changji adopted Liu Hui's method and achieved 7 digits of accuracy, and this would be a record held for 800 years. Around 1500 in India, the first recorded use of an infinite series used to compute pi was presented in the Tantra Sangraha, a book written by Nilakantha Samayaji, a member of the Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics. In a later work in 1530 titled Yakut Bahasa, the proofs for the series are presented, and Samayaji credited Madhava of Sangama Grama, the founder of the Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics, with the infinite series for sine, cosine, and arctan, as well as estimating pi to 11 digits around 1400 AD. In 1610, Ludolf van Seulen, a Dutch professor of mathematics and sciences, used Archimedes' method to calculate 35 digits of pi. The last time Archimedes' method would be used to calculate pi was in 1630 by Austrian astronomer Christopher Greenberg, who arrived at 38 digits, which is the most manually achieved using the polygonal algorithms. In 1671, James Gregory, and independently in 1673, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz discovered the Taylor series expansion for arctangent. This would be used later on to approximate pi. In 1699, English mathematician Abraham Sharp used the Gregory-Leibniz infinite series to reach 71 digits of pi. In 1706, John Mackin used Gregory Leibniz to reach 100 digits of pi. Mackin-like formula remained the best-known method for calculating pi well into the age of computers, and were used to set records for 250 years. In 1706, William Oughtred would be the first to use the symbol pi we see today, which stands for the Greek word periphery, although debates would continue until 1761 if pi should represent 3.14 or 6.28. In 1761, Johann Heinrich Lambert was the first to prove that the number pi is irrational. He did this by setting tangent x equal to a continued fraction, and then proved that if x is non-zero and rational, then this expression must be irrational. Since tan pi over 4 equals 1, it follows that pi over 4 is irrational, and thus pi is irrational. The most accurate value of pi calculated before computers was in 1946 by Daniel Ferguson, who also achieved the record of 808 with the use of the desk computer in 1949. After this, the age of computers approximations of pi accelerated the calculation of pi by unimaginable lengths. One of the first mathematicians, John Wrench and Levi Smith, reached 1,120 digits in 1949 using a desk calculator. Using an inverse tangent arctan infinite series, a team led by George Reitzweisner and John van Neumann that same year achieved 2,037 digits with a calculation that took 70 hours of computer time on the ENIAC computer. The record would repeatedly be broken as better computers came out, with 7,480 digits in 1957, 10,000 digits in 1958, 100,000 in 1961, and 1 million in 1973. And last year, 100 trillion digits of pi have been found by Google developers using Google Cloud and 157 days of calculation time.